Top 5 Rap website. You already know what's going on. Another Friday live stream. We bike. You can see what we racked into today. We doing the Drake Iceman episode 3. I don't even know what this thing is called because again, I don't be following Drake like that, right? But luckily, friend of the channel, What's the Dirt, has been tracking all of these Iceman episode rollouts. So we can watch his video instead of having to watch Drake's. That just works perfectly for me. So anyway, before we get started, y'all know how I like to do things. Little housekeeping, new videos on the channel. Got a couple new videos this week. Got the Kendrick Lamar PMP breakdown. That's one of them type videos my core subscribers like. We would just really get into the lyrics, get into bars. And then we got the Cardi B Pretty and Petty diss, where she disses Bia, which is, to be completely honest, kind of mid, but, you know, people gas up diss records when they're big artists, so I didn't expect anything different. Shout out everybody in the chat. Courtney, Suit Zero, No Mercy, Suit the Fisherman, Mick Jenkins dropping October 3rd. We'll see if I end up doing that. See, like I listen to, when these albums come out, I listen to them. But when it comes to what I put on the channel, I try to post, because obviously I can't post everything that I listen to, right? There was a time where I did that, like during COVID era, you know, but I had no job or anything. I was just out here. So all day I was just doing videos. If 3 albums dropped, I would react to 3 albums. That's like 4 hours to do that. Then edit and post, that would be my whole day. But nowadays I can't do that. So when it comes to, so I listen to everything, but when it comes to what I post on the channel, I try to post things that I think y'all will find interesting, right? So the stats tell me y'all like Kendrick videos and y'all like Drake videos. So we try to throw like a couple of those in a month, right? In the midst of everything else. Y'all like Joey Badass too. The Joey Badass stuff gets a lot of views, the clip stuff. So yeah, we just gotta like make good use of our time. I don't wanna make a video that no one watches. So anyway, oh yeah, we're coming up on video number 1,000 too. I got 8 more videos. We're also coming up on 20K. So I'll probably post like a little Q&A to the community page. Y'all will see that on your YouTube feed. I'll post like a Q&A and I'll try to answer every single question, which we'll probably try to do something a little different for the Q&A. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'll be outside somewhere. Maybe I'll do it like at a dinner somewhere and, you know, have my girl hold the camera and then she read the questions. I answer the questions, something like that. I got to think of something. Yeah, Sammy loves the Cardi diss. Cardi B she's just mid to me, you know what I mean? Shout out to Janet for clearing them Cardi song. What you saying, Janet Jackson? The diss was unnecessary for the sake of the theme of the album title. And the fact she won't drop again for a while with the tour to follow and the baby, she's trying to win it while she can with all the gimmicks. Well, yeah, that's what rappers are doing nowadays, right? Especially in 2025. They're rolling out their albums with disses. You know, the Clips did it too. That's just, yeah. Do the Q&A on Discord so it goes faster. I don't even know how to use Discord, to be honest. And I don't even really know if I want one. From what I've seen on Discords, them shits are toxic, and I don't really want to be involved in something like that. Maybe I'll like learn more about it because I don't know much about Discord. But right now, my thoughts on Discord is pretty negative, to be honest. Cardi album was trash, and I'm from the Bronx. Shout out to the BX. BX. Hey, who the best rapper from the Bronx? Fat Joe. Is it Fat Joe? Anyway, Cardi B. Who is, no, KRS-One, right? South Bronx. Anyway, let's get into it. This is joint 45 minutes, but you know we gonna put it on 1.25 speed because that's just how I do things.
Real quick before we get started, I think this is like the
Turn
best breakdown that I've ever made. Like,
Wow.
I'm super proud of this. I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, guys. So
Okay.
we finally got Iceman episode 3 from Drake. And this time it all went down in Milan.
Yeah, we got Mick Jenkins and Jay Electronica. That Jay Electronica album has been out though. I think I saw like 1 or 2 songs on that Jay Electronica that I've never heard before. But that's been out. Like those songs have been out. The Shiny Suit Theory. I heard the Shiny Suit Theory with Jay-Z when I was in high school. Right? So that's an old song.
Italy. A quick refresher, episode 1 was in Toronto. We had Drake at the Iceman factory. We got the single for What Did I Miss?
Sure.
And then he drove the delivery truck through the city for all of downtown to witness. In episode 2, he went even heavier.
So like when are we going to get a release date though? What happened to dropping them release dates?
On the visuals, where Drake's team turned it up a couple notches. We had Drake at the brewery. He was staring at a couple red buttons. A Pinocchio was stalking him. He received a mysterious bag from Central C.
So they say,
he got the record for which one. He gets.
So they say the Pinocchio is Kendrick, right? Because you know Pinocchio's a liar. I guess he's saying Kendrick is a liar. This is what What's the Dirt was saying. Let's see.
Away from the Pinocchio, jumps in an elevator where he stares at another red button before he catches a train. That's a high-level review of what happened so far. And now with episode number 3, Drake's team took the production to a whole other level.
Let's get
this episode required 16 cameras, 2 Steadicams, 1 drone, 14 locations.
How does he know this? Yo, an hour and a half. An hour and a half. And I saw on Instagram that Drake actually liked this video. So I guess What's the Dirt is saying in his video is pretty accurate because it's co-signed by Drake himself.
With just 3 days to prepare, and I didn't count, but there has to be at least over 100 actors. A lot of people overlook like the work that goes into this, including me, but this is like a live film. Just a quick disclaimer, there are a lot of Italian landmarks and references.
Was that the Vatican?
Episode, and I'm going to try my best to pronounce.
It's Hell Rail from the Bronx. Hell Rail, you talking about Hell Rail from Dipset, right?
Some of these words properly, but I'm destined to mess up some of these names.
Yeah.
The episode opens up with a wide shot.
I saw all those buildings in Assassin's Creed too.
Castello Safranza in Milan. During the day, this is one of the busiest places for tourism, but in this shot, it looks lifeless as it's shot at nighttime.
Yeah, those Iceman videos are mad boring. Yeah, that's why I don't watch them.
Now, inside these walls lies some
long.
of the most celebrated art in human history. Names like Leonardo da Vinci.
You know, an hour and a half long live stream, that's how long I'll be pushing my joints to go. But, you know, Drake and them, they not really live streamers. So they don't like, I don't know, it'd just be boring. Like I just saw the Demon Slayer movie last week and that was like almost 3 hours. And that was actually a good movie. But at a certain point, I was like, yo, y'all got to wrap this up. I just can't sit and watch stuff that long.
Michelangelo.
Even this video, I might skip around. This is 45 minutes, dog.
And Raphael all have beautiful murals and statues inside this castle. But here's a twist. None of them owned their art. No matter how brilliant they were, these artists were paid for their labor and not their legacy.
Okay.
Whoever controlled and owned the castle also owned the art.
Sure.
For as long as these famous pieces have...
Yeah, this is definitely an Assassin's Creed 2. No, either Assassin's Creed 2 or Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. This is Rome, right? When you went to see the Slayer, did anyone get beat up and peed on? What? What you mean? What you mean?
Walls,
no.
And the billions of dollars generated from tourists that go see it, the families of these genius creators have not earned a penny. From a music perspective, they didn't own their masters, right?
Sure.
This castle is a perfect symbol of power, control, and legacy as it pertains to art, and I believe it's a perfect representation of the music industry and how things work.
Wow.
Just like the famous art behind these walls.
Great album. That Adele 25 album, amazing album.
The music and legacy of an artist is owned by the label. In theory, UMG is no different than the leaders who own this castle. They'll put up the money to fund an artist, but more times than not, they own the music forever.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I think that's a fair comparison. All In is talking about the Jay Electronica drop. Act 2, Patents of Nobility, was a remastered version, but he dropped leaflets with 7 new joints. Okay. I need to go hear those then. You know your games? Yeah, I'm playing all of Assassin's Creed games right now. So I got to Odyssey. I got all the way to Odyssey. But then that game is just so trash, it made me not want to play Assassin's Creed anymore. I'm going to pick it back up, but I might skip Odyssey, go right into Shadows. You know what I mean?
It's almost like...
But we got Ghost of Yote coming out. So I'm not going to play Shadows before I play Yote. I'm going to play Yote first.
long as art has existed, there's been this power
Facts.
dynamic where rich, wealthy, powerful people own the art and not the people who actually make it.
Yeah,
Next, we
that's
see
what
a
everything,
bunker that is
right?
full of ice with 2 shovels and what appears to be a very similar sized block to the block that we saw Drake measure in episode 1. Now, the location of this
Okay.
bunker is at the business location of Iceman in Milan, not to get confused with the business of Iceman in
Toronto.
Toronto. They are 2 separate
Oh, so Ice. I thought Iceman was just like a Toronto local business. So Iceman is like a franchise. I don't know if we have these in America. I've never seen this.
enterprises, but this is a
Y'all
perfect
got
shot
Icemans where y'all at? I've never seen an Iceman machine. I've seen ice machines, but not branded Iceman.
that acts as a visual motif to remind us right away of the continued theme around the Iceman. Again, this has all been planned for quite some time. Next, we see the shot of the San Siro Stadium in
Okay.
Milan, which is one of the most iconic stadiums in the world for hosting football, concerts, and cultural events.
Football. It's called soccer.
The most unique aspect about this
Soccer.
stadium is the fact that 2 rival football teams share it. They have one of the
Yeah.
most famous and long-standing rivalries in the history of sports, and that is AC Milan versus Inter Milan.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like the New York Jets and the New York Giants. They share a stadium. I don't know if they're like arch rivals like that, but they're definitely opposing fan bases.
This competitive dynamic under the same roof is a perfect example of how UMG structures its business. On the east, we have Monty Littman,
Yeah.
who looks after the East Coast labels, and on the west, we have John Janik, who controls the power of the West Coast
Sure.
labels.
He explained this in
These
his last
2
video.
executives in particular have been battling for years to see which side is more profitable,
Yeah.
aka which team wins, but ultimately it all falls under the
The same
ownership of
team,
UMG.
yeah.
But get this, in 2006, AC Milan CEO Adriano Galliani was caught in a match-fixing scandal. Basically, the CEO was handpicking the referees to call the games.
So do y'all think Drake knew all this? Did he purposely put all this here? I think at a certain point, I think yes, Drake he's doing these live streams and he's putting little Easter eggs here and there because he knows people are going to break him down. I think Drake saw people starting to do that with Kendrick, and he's kind of like, yeah, I kind of want that same thing. When I drop, I want it in-depth reviews. I want people to look into it super deep. And What's the Dirt kind of pioneered that. Like he kind of like pioneered that whole style, I guess, for this era on YouTube. Is What's the Dirt the first person to ever super deep break down a song or a video? No. But he's definitely popularized it. I mean, y'all love that 616 in LA breakdown. I think Drake saw that and he was like, yeah, let me start doing a little bit of this, putting some Easter eggs in my joints too.
Want to know how they got caught? Wiretaps and a whole lot of them. I'm talking direct evidence of discussing which referees should call their games. Now, call me
That's
crazy,
crazy.
but from Drake, we've seen owls on phone lines. We have entire records like Nokia based on phone calls. There's a theme around taps itself.
I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear
Swear
that
to
I'm
them dialed
down.
in. Yeah, I like the Easter eggs, but I wish he put them in more of his lyrics. He had a big cabin. Yeah, I agree. I think the songs that are coming from these live streams, they're not really hitting like that. I liked What Did I Miss? That was the first episode. But these episodes they don't seem focused on the music. I don't watch them, right? But so I could be completely wrong. But just from an outsider looking in, it doesn't seem like these Iceman live streams are about music. It seems like they're about Easter eggs. Like the music that's coming from them isn't getting me hyped, other than What Did I Miss? Zero said, yeah, the Canadian is a compulsive gambler that doesn't write his own ish. He probably put that in there about the refs. If I was Drake, I'll go full MF Doom. What, like with the mask and stuff?
And he even installed a phone booth outside of his house.
A big Bridle Path mansion, a payphone booth. Remember those?
Is this like a subliminal message from Drake? I don't know, but a phone booth is where you would go to avoid wiretaps.
Paulie hated phones.
See, it's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. Where's the music at? I know Drake come on, man. You got one more record until you break your tie with Michael Jackson for most #1 hits for a solo male artist. Where is that song? I don't think, and it seems like Drake fans don't think that any of these Iceman songs that are coming off of these live streams, I don't even think they believe that they're going to be on the album. So like, what's the point?
wouldn't have one in his house.
Made guy, he fucked about 10 years ago and he got busted for peddling eggs.
The scene then switches to the Baciophilia Casalanza. I'm so bad at this, bro. It's here where we get a yellow and blue backdrop with a few old-timers playing bocce ball. Now, bocce in particular is a game that takes time and patience. It's not a fast action sport. Players take time to measure angles and plan their shots well in advance. With this Iceman roll,
I think I played that like at a hotel or something. I didn't know how to play it though.
Drake has been playing the long game. There are many clues that the title of Iceman has been in the works since 2003, and we saw Iceman references on the Plot Twist Instagram account just weeks after his beef with Kendrick ended.
Y'all put it in the front page, back page, middle page, wherever, headliners, column 1 or 2, we will win game 2.
Next, we see a statue called...
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't want to put this pause in Drake's mouth, pause. But it kind of seems like the live streams are more about reconciling the Kendrick thing, beef, more than it is about music. I don't know. Usually when an artist is rolling out their album, which is what the Iceman episode joints is, it's a part of a rollout, it's music focused. This doesn't seem music focused. This seems like, I don't know. It seems like he's trying to reconcile his beef with Kendrick with the way it was to Dirt's explaining it, with the Pinocchio and all this, and then the wiretaps, and he's also, it seems he's trying to reconcile his thing with Lucian Grange. Like he's trying to maybe explain it. I don't know. It doesn't seem focused on the music on the album to me.
The Mother Abu, and I believe this statue represents one of the most important aspects of the episode. This statue is based on an old 1800s play where Mother Abu is this greedy, power-hungry woman who will do anything to get to the top. She manipulates her husband into killing the king so that he can take the throne. Mother Abu causes massive damage and chaos because she pushes her husband to make reckless choices.
Yeah, how do you even know this? Where do you get this? It's crazy.
These are choices where it looks like he's making them himself, but really she's behind the scenes calling the shots. In a nutshell, the statue symbolizes greed and manipulation. It's a strong statement that the person wearing the crown isn't always in control and that there are invisible forces.
So was this like a shot at Lucian Grange, saying Lucian Grange is being puppeteered by somebody?
The strings behind the scenes. A good example would be like, say, a president, right? People say, oh, the president is just a puppet. There's people behind the scenes really pulling the strings, and that's basically...
Prime Minister. Wait, does Canada have presidents? I don't know what be going on in Canada. Prime Minister.
What the statue represents. Up to this point in the video, there has been no sound whatsoever, but this is where it changes as we hear Paroli Paroli by Minna. Paroli Paroli is a song from back in 1976 where we have a man talking to a woman and she is singing back to him. The man continuously compliments the woman, and in every sense of the word, he's telling her what she wants to hear.
Yeah, I feel like we got to get to the point. Let's get to the point.
However, the woman,
like I said, I may skip around this video. I may skip around a little bit. Again, these types of, I hate when Kendrick does this too. Easter egg, super deep. This is why I do my super deep. Here goes my super deep Kendrick video breakdown, super deep breakdown. I did a couple of them. I did the Not Like Us and I did the Luther. It's just me mocking the super deep Easter eggy type of video. And Kendrick is my favorite rapper, and I do not like when he does this either. The first Iceman episode had me, it seemed promising because we got a great song out of it. What did I miss? Looking at y'all and cooking with y'all and booking with y'all, whatever. These other episodes, sure, there was music. They had the Which One by Central C and all this. To be completely honest, the music is doing absolutely nothing other than what did I miss? All them other songs came and went flat. It's like almost like it never happened. I think Drake is more concerned with like, I don't even know the right word, but it has to do with Lucian Grange, the CEO of UMG, and it has to do with Kendrick. And he's like trying to either explain that situation or with these Iceman streams or like save face or I don't know. But it's not about music. You're right. If Kendrick did this, people would be falling over themselves to give him an Oscar. Instead, they trash this and talk about Kendrick's Gatorade commercial like it's Citizen Kane. I just don't like this style of thing. I don't like stuff that's deep just for the purpose of being deep. Like, we're going to make something deep and then you make it overly deep. It's like the Jordan Peele movies, Get Out and Us and all that. I don't like them shits either. I find them, to me, it's a little insulting to the intelligence and I find them a little patronizing. The Jordan Peele, like, they're putting stuff in the movie that you're not going to understand. You're purposefully not supposed to understand it. Like, it's meant for you to go and look it up to figure things out. I don't like movies like this. I don't like when my favorite rapper does it. And I certainly don't like when Drake does it. Well, the artists aren't really doing it. It's the fan trying to show who's a bigger fan or knows more. No, I think Drake is doing it at this point. See, at first, I don't think Kendrick was doing that with his lyrics, like putting all these Easter eggs and stuff. But I think once he saw people start to go super deep into lyrics and like symbolism that he didn't even actually mean, you just play along with it. Like, all right, let me actually put something in there next time. Pause. So, yeah, I don't like this type of thing. Crazy Boy Wonder gave Joey High Roller, but he gave Drake the generic trap beats. Well, Drake has gotten some of Boy Wonder's best beats, over. Drake, he can't get all the good stuff. I've been rooting for Drake lately, but he has to let this beef go. Yeah, he got to move it along. Like, I don't understand. He's already got his lawsuit. Like, the thing with Kendrick is over. Otherwise, he would just release another diss record. So that's over. The thing with Lucian Grange is currently being adjudicated in court. Right now is album time. And this rollout does not seem to be about music at all. Key and Peele have horrid timing in their skits outside of Mad TV. Yeah. I don't really find them funny and I don't find their music good. The only rappers that actually deserve these deep dives are Lupe and A$AP Rock. All right, Lupe, A$AP Rock, Ka. And in terms of like videos, I don't really watch music videos like that. I mean, I'm having trouble getting through this video. It's only 45 minutes. But yeah, I don't know who would deserve it video-wise. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Maybe Tyler, the Creator.
The Iceman series. In fact, the Mother Abu statue that I just showed you also clearly had a camera staring directly at it. The scene then moves to the restaurant, giving us a...
Yo. Gosh, man. Oh, man, we got to see that part.
Also notice that this area is under surveillance, which is a theme we have seen throughout the Iceman series.
Okay.
In fact, the Mother Abu statue that I just showed you also clearly had a camera staring directly at it.
When I said clips, clips, they're not like, clips don't do that type of thing. Their lyrics are not like super overly deep for the purpose of being deep. They don't do that type of thing.
The scene then moves through the restaurant, giving us a full 360 view of the space before Drake finally appears, carrying the same bag from episode 2 on his back. He's also wearing the same Iceman hoodie that we've seen in the first 2 episodes.
Well, maybe the episode is meant to be like one day, like one continuous moment, right?
So there's continuity across the series. However, this time I did notice something specific about the bag, and that is that it's camouflage. I don't think this was a random design choice, as camouflage can be seen as a symbol of war, a sign of moving strategically, and a way of blending in while plotting your next move.
Sure.
I don't think the camouflage bag is like a random thing. We then see Drake carrying the bag.
So what color was the first bag? Was that black? What you think about that? You like the third person to call me Unc today. Unc is crazy. Literally like the third person to call me Unc today, and probably like the 5th person in the last 2 weeks. Unc is crazy. The rollout's boring. He just needs to drop whatever album he's got and just move on. Yeah, I don't think Drake should continue to do more than like another episode. Drop one more episode after this and then drop the album, bro. I'm actually becoming disinterested. I'm still going to listen to Iceman, but there's nothing about this rollout. And again, I'm just watching What's the Dirt's videos. I'm not watching the actual Drake joints. But if I can't get through a solid breakdown of what's going on, would I actually enjoy this live stream that's an hour and a half itself? Probably not. This is not getting me hyped for music. This is like, I don't know what he's trying to do with this. Yeah, Unc is wild. Shout out to Greg in the chat.
As he walks past rows and rows of trophies. You'll soon see that legacy is a major theme in this episode, and you'll notice he takes a moment to check some of them out. Drake, of course,
Like no cap, like 3 people have called me Unc today. 3 separate people. It's crazy.
already has countless accolades and awards, which makes this shot interesting, but we'll circle back to this later. Think about protecting your legacy, but also building on your legacy. Drake then walks out to the bocce court, he takes a seat, he pulls out his phone, and proceeds to call Yeet, who is playing the character of a man.
Okay, so we got a Yeet song out of this. I remember this. Yeah, this episode is actually old. It's like a week and a half, 2 weeks old. Drake and Yeet. Yeah, I made some comments about this. Yeah, I was saying basically, yo, Drake's not serious. He's in the studio with Yeet and Lil Yachty. This nigga's not serious, which he's not. You're not boycotting like some of the other YouTubers. I'm not boycotting it. They could boycott it if they want. I'll take all the views. I'll take all the views from this Drake album review. No pun. Drake views. Beef like that never end. They always take subs at each other. Yeah, true.
And shown
Get
on
through
screen
this.
at another location.
We give it we gonna let it play for like another 2 minutes. See if I want to skip around. You know what I mean?
You made it all right.
So right away, it seems like we have a narrative bridge that connected to episodes.
Where the
as
music
he
at, though?
confirms that Drake made it to the location safely. And remember, episode 2 ended off with Drake catching a train. You made it here all right? Like, it kind of connects the 2 episodes, right? In the phone conversation, we do hear Drake talking, and you can hear him whisper, but as much as I manipulate the audio, I can't really pick out what he's saying, except for one portion where he says, "I'll see you when I see you." Yeet seems to be playing the role of someone setting up a play for Drake, and it's clear that it's also risky, as he has a backup plan should things go left.
You know, I thought the live stream. Oh my gosh! Like, what do y'all think? What do y'all think it is? Unbiased. Try to give an unbiased opinion. What are your honest opinions on the Iceman episodes 1 through 3? What's your honest? I thought episode 1 was a nice setup, but now I fear it's going on too long. Now I fear he's kind of like beating a dead horse. I think an episode 1, 2, and maybe ending with 3. Or ending with 2 would have been dope. Episode 1 I thought was fine. I actually watched a good amount of that. I thought it was dope. We got a great song out of it. He's driving around Toronto in his Iceman truck. Everything seemed new, fresh. It was dope. But now it's just getting super convoluted for me. Boycotting is so damn extreme. People taking his beef so serious like it affects their life. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's no reason for me to boycott this. If you want to boycott something, there are plenty of things in the world right now to boycott. And I don't think Drake is one of them. If it's an album rollout, there should be more music, not elaborate visuals. I gotta hit the facts on that. That's facts. That's what I'm saying, bro. All the music from this rollout is falling flat on its face. It's
I got
facts.
that other thing set up just in case anything go left.
After the call ends, Drake takes the bag, heads back into the restaurant, and meets 3 Mafia-like figures. He takes a seat, and then Italian rap superstar Stefra Ubasta lays a red card out on the table.
He looked like AZ Chike. So I think Drake he's kind of probably like reliving his acting past. He gets to go into these like cinematic, like movie type, joints or whatever. Even if this was, like a short film or something he just dropped in long form content, I think it will even be a little more interesting for me. Maybe the Drake fans love this type of stuff. The episodes feel unnecessary. He's using this mystique, no dialogue thing to allow fans to run with wild theories and they look insane. Yeah, I agree. Cardi B incorporating DoorDash in her rollout. That's been better than this so far.
Another famous person in this scene is designer Domenico for Machete. Now, if you look closely, it appears that this is not just a card, as something seems to be attached to it, possibly a key. And I look at this card
Keys
as
to the
Drake
city?
receiving a very specific key piece of information.
Key to the city.
Once he accepts the
Key
card,
information.
he leaves the restaurant and walks towards the Iceman truck. And at the
AZ Chike freestyle last week was decent. I gotta watch that. I haven't watched it. AZ Chike not the type of person I want to hear freestyle. I'll need to hear like a song from him because he's not like that type of rapper.
time, I thought for sure he was going to drive the vehicle, But instead, he gets into a smaller car, which I believe is a 1970s Fiat 125 special. And now he begins to tease like a bunch of new music. When it comes to the music in this episode, there are a lot of interesting lines, but I'll break them down in a
Let's hear
separate
the
video
music. Let's go.
because most
Separate
of it is
video?
not relevant to the theme.
Bro, what? Well, you trying to hear the music? Hold on, let me see something. Did he actually break it down in a separate video? Let's go to videos. Oh, he ain't break it down yet. It's on his live stream. Now he ain't break it down yet. Oh man,
But the episode.
that's why I'm here. Is the music?
However, one thing that I do want
Come
to
on,
point out
bruh.
is that on 2 separate songs, Drake seems to bring up that they want him dead.
I wonder how long I'll be at the top if they don't kill me.
Oh yeah, I wanna see me go. I wanna see me dead.
Some might
Well, yeah, they've been saying that. Everybody say that though, right?
hear these
Every
lines
rapper.
and
That's
think
like a
about
rap
Drake's
thing.
ops in terms of rappers, but this is also reminiscent of what Drake alleged in his lawsuit against UMG.
I wonder how long it'll take them to count out 2,000 million.
So again, in relation to the lawsuit, you
2,000
do the math,
million.
Drake is talking about the label counting out $2 billion. Now, is this a figure he's hoping to get? Is this what he values his catalog at? Is he saying they'll have to fork over his catalog? I don't know. The line really
Live breakdown. What you mean live breakdown of the Iceman when it dropped? I'll probably do the same thing I usually do. I'll do like a reaction in a review. Actually think I'm gonna start putting my album reactions. I gotta figure out like the YouTube members thing because I don't really like doing like the reaction videos anymore because I don't want to be a reaction channel. I'm not a reaction channel. I only react to videos really anymore when I'm live streaming. So I think when I want to do the album reaction, but put it like for the members only or for the people who actually care to watch it, and then I'll have my separate album review. I think that's how I'm gonna do it.
leaves more questions than answers, right? But Drake has been talking about these super max deals, right? Drake comes to a stop, and the next big location is to Torretta del Nuovo Macello.
I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it though, because the YouTube members, obviously I don't want to make it too pricey, but I want to make it worth it, like for both of us, right? Probably like $8 or $9. Yeah, I know Potty Mouth just did one. He does the YouTube members, but he puts a lot of his videos for the members only. I'm gonna still keep most of my videos, like 99% of them. I'm gonna still keep them on, up on my channel for everyone. What do you think of Jay Roebuck? I don't know who that is. I think you've asked me about Jay Roebuck like 3 times already. I don't know these people. What does he do? If he's a hip hop YouTuber, I probably don't know.
No, I'm terrible at these names, trust me. The scene
From
takes
what you've been telling me, I think he's a hip hop YouTuber. So I don't know. What do you think of him? How about that?
place at a small restaurant in Milan, a spot known for
I
its
don't know
quality
these people.
Italian cuisine. A table is set for 4, and an ominous yet amazing beat fills the background. I couldn't find this sample anywhere. We see a random man and woman eating at a table and drinking wine, and one by one, we see that
Pinocchio.
4 Pinocchios sit down at the table, and what immediately stood out to me is just how different these 4 Pinocchios were from the one that we saw in episode 2.
Really?
The Pinocchio from episode 2 wore a single-piece suit, while the costumes in this restaurant scene look noticeably homemade. The most striking
So I thought the Pinocchio was supposed to represent Kendrick, but now there's 4 of them. So what? Kendrick, Lucian. Who else is Drake beefing with? One is The Weeknd. One is A$AP Rocky. Can you react to Jay Roebuck? I'm not reacting to no more hip hop YouTubers who like are not much bigger than I am. Last time I did that, started showing love to people, reacting to their videos. They get my attention, they just flip and then make hit pieces about me. So we ain't doing that no more. Shout out to Duke though, or whatever. Good luck in your journey.
difference is their bow ties. Each one is neatly
God.
tied and identical across the group, whereas the Pinocchio from episode 2 is entirely different. The Pinocchio from episode 2 is
I'm
more
going crazy, yo. Easy on what's the dirt. Easy. He's a friend of the channel.
polished, right? Like he's meant to be in the public eye. I think he's an
Y'all
artist, and I
going
still think
crazy.
it's Kendrick. The difference in costume details feels deliberate, as it suggests that these 4 Pinocchios are all tied together as one collective force. They are not artists, they are suits that represent industry executives pulling the strings. They're still puppets, but they're corporate puppets.
Oh yeah, this is gold, right? This is gold. This is better than gold. This is platinum. This is amazing.
Likely suspects for the 4 Pinocchios would be John Janik of Interscope, Monty Littman of Republic, Avery Littman of Republic, and another person who acts as an inside mole or whistleblower.
Wait, I thought one of them was Kendrick though, or maybe the other one was Kendrick. So he's saying though, so there's 5 Pinocchios now.
Who acts as
They're not
an
artists, they're
inside
suits.
mole or whistleblower. If you look at Drake's lawsuit against UMG, these are the key players at the top that would make up the plan.
Sure.
Now, if
Yeah,
you're
let's
wondering
go.
about Lucien Grange and where he is in all
Yo,
this,
I'm sure it means something. Well, honestly, What's the Dirt's probably on point. He's more tapped into the OVO and the Toronto scene than I am and than I'll ever be. So I'm sure the Pinocchio stand for something, and I'm sure it's probably what he's talking about. But yeah, this is good. This would be better if he put it in a song. Facts.
he's been in the restaurant the whole time. If you look at the man seated behind the Pinocchios, this is a stand-in actor meant to symbolize Lucien. Notice there is not a single moment where he even looks or acknowledges the Pinocchios.
So if that's supposed to be Lucien and the Pinocchio supposed to be Lucien, what is it? For as popular and as wealthy as Drake is, he needs more creative people on his team. All this comes off as rushed. It comes off, I agree with you, gotta be 7. It comes off as rushed, and it comes off as try hard. If I had a direct line to Drake, I only have one question. What is your point in doing this? Let's say Drake's point is like, you know, it's what's the dirt saying? Yo, one Pinocchio represents one guy at UMG, the other Pinocchio represents another guy, Lucien Grange. Let's say that's true. What's your point? Are these guys supposed to like tuck their tail? Are you trying to tell us something about them? In that case, I gotta go at what got to be 7 in the chat said. Why not just put it in a song? If you really have like a message that you're trying to convey to us about these people, don't you think it'll be more simple and clear to put it in a song? Unless you think putting it in a song will put you at risk. You know, they want me dead and all this. Well, you don't think they're gonna break down this video, look at this video and watch What's the Dirt's breakdown and figure it out anyways? I just don't understand the point, right? Because even the OVO, we're not gonna call them OV hoes, but even the OVO fans, a lot of them, I see them on my timeline. A lot of them are admitting that the songs are all not landing like that. So, like I said earlier, this is not about the music. This is about something else. If I had a line to Drake, I would be like, what is that something else? What's the point? Makes more money to make all this stuff confusing, to keep making money on views. The money that Drake is going to get on views from these YouTube videos is so minuscule compared to how much money he already has. You know, on YouTube, I've never gotten a 1 million view video, but I've gotten like a video with like almost 400K views. So just doing the math proportionally, even if Drake gets 1 million views, that's only like $8,000 or $9,000, more or less, depending on how long the video is. Longer videos get more money because more ads are played. You're talking for 1 million views, you might get 10,000. This Drake, this not me or you or 10,000. It's like, okay, we can go do something with this. This is Drake. He spent 10,000 at the Chanel store. You heard his songs.
Drake's lawsuit alleges that Lucien was fully aware of the plan, but turned a blind eye to
Yeah,
it.
this ain't for the money. I think it's what's the dirt saying, honestly. I think Drake is trying to tell a story about these executives at UMG. Now, Drake probably can't do that because he's in a lawsuit. He probably can't tell us directly because he's in a lawsuit. So he's doing this. But bro, what about your album though with the music? Like, are you gonna like, do something musically, or are we gonna keep getting these episodes with your throwaway tracks?
And the fact that the Pinocchios are able to get into the same building and spaces to be this close to Lucien told me that they were executives, right? Like Lucien's, he's turning a blind eye. He's not looking. He knows they're there, but he's keeping his distance, right? Each Pinocchio.
Oh, the 4 Pinocchios represents the 4 major streaming platforms. Well, so we got Tidal, we got Spotify, Apple Music. What's the other one? YouTube Music. Drake got embarrassed and always envied that Kendrick is miles ahead artistically. And now he's trying to kick What's the Dirt and Los Pollos into thinking he's more artistic than Kendrick. I think Drake is definitely putting some little extras on it in terms of the symbolism and the Easter eggs. He's definitely put stuff in there more than he's ever. Drake has never done nothing like this in any of his videos. I think after he saw how people was jumping on Kendrick's music and kind of doing that with Kendrick, he's like, nah, I need some of that. Because obviously, if he has a video with a bunch of symbolism, a bunch of YouTubers are going to make videos about it. And a bunch of YouTubers like me are going to react to those videos. And it just builds more fanfare or buzz around the video, right? We're in a cultural shift. Yeah. On the Easter egg things, it's meant so that you have to re-listen to the music in order to fully grasp everything. But with that said, the music still has to be good. Yeah, he's got to make some music too. I don't even think the music that he's putting on these episodes has anything to do with the video. Or maybe it does. Again, I'm only watching What's the Dirt break this down. I'm not watching this 1.5 hour long ass live stream that Drake is putting out on his channel. That's just what I'm not doing. Kendrick unlocked the mythical MF Doom era Drake. This is like if you gave a high school film student with a, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. We not reading that. Shout out to Christopher Nolan, man.
A single ice cube on their plate, and you could see that they look to be discussing business. One of the Pinocchios then writes out the word legacy on the tablecloth in red sauce, likely meant to symbolize blood.
Yeah.
This is a strong statement to symbolize that what's on the menu is Drake's legacy, his name, his reputation, his catalog. They want to eat off Drake's legacy at any cost, which is why it's written in blood. However, they don't get a 4-course meal. The only thing on the menu tonight are ice cubes, Drake's signature as the Iceman. I believe that each ice cube...
So did Drake give them ice because he's the Iceman? To be frank, he is releasing music. It's not sticking. Maybe he needs this. I'm going to give the OVO community the benefit of the doubt when they say that the music that he's... Because you're right, F in the chat, you're right. He is releasing music. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that the music he's putting out is not meant for the album. Which is kind of like a stupid thing for me to say, right? To even believe something like that. Because if the music you're releasing in this Iceman live stream is not a part of your Iceman album, then why are you putting it out? When is he going to put the actual music out that's on the album? You're dropping songs with Yeet and Lil Yachty. You're not serious, man.
Represents a frozen moment, the same name of Drake's LLC in the lawsuit against UMG. John Janek's Ice Cube represents his part of the plan as someone who stood to gain financially from the beef. Avery and Monty Littman's Ice Cubes represent the betrayal of...
And the thing is, Drake had been on good terms with the executives at UMG. How many times has Drake shouted out Lucian Grange on records? Oh, I don't know. At least once, if only one time. But he shouted out the executives. You don't really hear rappers shouting out executives at the label. A lot of the times there's like a little tension between rappers and their labels. That's just how it is. Not just rappers, musicians. Drake was one of the few people that had a good relationship with Lucian Grange at his label. Not just a manager or, you know, a vice president. No, the CEO. He was name dropping them like they were friends. So this would not be happening if not for the Kendrick beef. I don't think Drake has any real issues with these people. Or maybe he does. I think this is just another roundabout way to not sue Kendrick. But it still looks bad. The whole problem is that this looks pointless, forced, and boring. That is a major fact. They have nothing else on their plate. What that mean? They don't have nothing to do, or they eating off bots. Where are we at in the chat? Album will do it, but it's hilarious how he has another album this year already. I think he's contracted to drop like one solo album a year or something like that.
Public records.
I think I might have heard What's the Dirt say that. I forget where I saw that.
And how instead of protecting Drake, they cooperated and approved the defamatory material to lower Drake's negotiation value. Sure. Each Ice Cube acts as a frozen moment that represents the evidence of their own corruption. There will be evidence of payola with radio. There will be a digital footprint for...
You don't think Drake has benefited from payola with radio beef can for real. This is where Drake lose me, man. You don't think that you benefited from payola with radio, even with a diss record like back to back?
Of bots and manipulation.
You don't think you got bots and artificial streaming?
There will be paper trails that show they knew Not Like Us was damaging to Drake's image.
You don't think when they was helping you push back to back, and they had Chick-fil-A posting back to back, they had Home Depot on Twitter posting back to back, you don't think that was harming to Meek Mill's career? And look how Meek Mill rebounded. Meek Mill got some heavy rebounds. That boy Dennis Rodman out there. He came back from back to back, and everybody was against Meek Mill right there. He was a laughing stock. Drake did a Saturday Night Live skit with the whole back to back. Like, y'all remember that? He was on SNL doing a back to back. Bank of America, they on social media making back to back jokes. Meek Mill came back from that. And he came back from the Diddy stuff. You know, Meek Mill got a heavy rebound game. Meek Mill is pictured with Diddy and midgets. Like, there's a picture of him and Diddy dressed the same with midgets, you know, hanging around. You know, we don't want to say midgets because I think that's defamatory. But, you know, some sketchy looking stuff going on. He moved past that. Meek Mill got some heavy rebounds. So, yeah, I say that to say Drake could have done that too. All this droning on and on is like, oh my God.
There will be documents of them approving the defamatory material. Basically, all the shady moves that were supposed to come together as this secret and perfect plan to damage.
I almost had a J. Cole bar from Jodeci Freestyle. What bar was that?
Drake will act as their own downfall because it's all evidence against them. It's things that they can't erase, right? It's frozen moments. That's the evidence. In reality, the legacy written in blood on the table isn't Drake's at all, but their own. In their minds,
okay, we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go.
Lobster tails, wagyu, caviar, and all the finest things, because that's what a flawless victory looks like when you don't get caught. Instead, what they're really being served are the frozen reminders of their own corruption. Their plan was supposed to go off without a hitch, right? But it's really the plan itself that turns.
Yeah, this is kind of victim-y. I've been hearing people say Drake is a victim. He be acting like a victim mindset, but this is actually victim mindset. And I was thinking as I'm watching this video, why is Drake doing it? Because Drake, he's lost other rap battles. He lost to Pusha T one too. But there was word. So my thing is, why didn't he act like this with Pusha T? But there was word that Drake helped get the Pusha T diss records kind of suppressed. And remember, Pusha T was saying at the end of Story of Adidon, he was saying like, yo, it's going to be a long summer. It's going to be a surgical summer. I took that as him saying, I have more information on you that I'm going to release as we go along in this beef. That stuff never came out. So there is word that Drake kind of suppressed that whole thing with Pusha T. I think the fact that Drake tried to do the same to Kendrick, and the label just didn't go for it this time for whatever reason. And then he's pissed about that. So he's like, I know you guys use bots because you use them with me. I know you guys do payola because you do it with me. And I know you did it with him because I recognize what you did for me with the back-to-back record. You're doing it for him, but we're supposed to be cool, Lucian Grange. So you know what? I'm going to sue you. That's probably what it is. I thought we was friends, Lucian Grange. Bar mitzvahs and all this together. I don't know what they do. We supposed to be boys, but then you back Kendrick? Nah. Executives like that, they're all about the money. Pusha T not as big as Kendrick. Pause, but yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Pusha T is definitely not as big as Kendrick, but there was rumor that Drake kind of got that whole situation suppressed. And Pusha T was saying in his records and in the interviews, like, yo, I'm going to keep going. It's going to be a surgical summer. I got more. He's talking like he's about to keep dropping. Then everything just kind of stopped. So that kind of lends to the theory that there's some suppression happening. I think Drake tried to suppress Kendrick, but the UMG was like, nah. For whatever reason, they said nah. They was just like, nah. And Drake he knows all the tricks they pulled for him with Back to Back and Meek Mill. And he saw them pull those same tricks with Kendrick. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like I said, You got Home Depot on Instagram. They making back-to-back memes. You got what's another business? I don't know. Ralph's. Back-to-back memes. That's what was happening with Not Like Us. You got Heinz Mustard. You know, every little corporation, Drake is recognizing this. Like, oh, they doing for Kendrick what they did for me. And he felt it. I think he felt the type of way about that. Reason Money and the story of Adi Diamond is not a club banger. It's not a club banger, but neither was Euphoria, right? But it's a damning record. He said that in the lawsuit paperwork. He told UMG to take, oh yeah, that's where I read it. He told UMG to take Not Like Us down, but they didn't. He tried to frame it as the reason that his home was shot up. Yeah, I remember reading that. Not Like Us was a winner before UMG even had a chance to make money off of it. Facts. Zero the ice from Iceman. chill. Yeah, I didn't know they did that before. Yeah, it's in a lawsuit. So
turns out to be their downfall because it's
so all this because you mad. Like this is called dragging it. You dragging it. With all this talk of ice, I could go for some ice cream. Yeah, get the Ben and Jerry's joint, but don't get the first one that you see when you open the fridge at the store. You know, I seen like something with teens, they be opening the lid and licking it and putting it back. Reach in the back and get one of the joints from the back.
All evidence. In the end, the waiter comes along and dumps a bucket of smaller ice cubes on the table, and I believe this symbolizes all the smaller players that make up the plan. They're just regular workers like the waiter. As you can see here, there are a lot of people in Drake's lawsuit that he is seeking discovery from.
All these people, well, not all of them, these people, their roles, rather, in these companies have all helped Drake at one point. You mad because you couldn't make the boss call to Lucian to get him to do what you felt he needed to do? Maybe some of the same things that he did for you when you was beefing with Meek Mill and others. You mad, son?
And I believe these smaller ice cubes represent all the data that comes from discovery. These are the smaller frozen moments like timestamps, IP logs, wire transfers.
Has Discovery come out in this? Discovery is going to be interesting. See, I don't be doing too many videos on a lawsuit, but I actually might do a video if the discovery is interesting.
Playlist fees, invoices, metadata, and information like that. Individually, these are all smaller frozen moments, right? But when they all come together collectively, it's like a mountain of evidence that takes up the whole table. This Italian restaurant scene acts as a direct link to the three mafia-like figures who I believe provided Drake.
3 tables, 3 figures. I see 4 tables right here, though. Yeah, I went to this Italian restaurant in Napa Valley, in Yountville specifically. It's called Cicio's. It was kind of fire, but you know, handmade pasta. But when at Italian restaurants, if you get pasta, you get very little pasta. You know what I mean? Very little pasta, but it's handmade, hand rolled. But you get like 8 strands of pasta. You know what I mean?
With a metaphorical key to the inside of the restaurant and their plan. If you're familiar with mafia movies and TV shows, you'll know that the classic setup for arranging a hit or murder often happens at a restaurant. In fact, it's not even some mythical thing in show business. Restaurant hits have played out many times in real-life mafia situations. Carmine Galante was killed in Joe and Mary's restaurant in Brooklyn. Joe Gallo was shot at Umberto Clam House in Little Italy.
Yeah, there's a mission in GTA 4 where you have to kill a dude in a restaurant. GTA 4. Let me read the chats. Imagine if the Canadian portrayed himself as Freddy, like what? Freddy Krueger, he could hunt all the people he's talking about. 2, he can go after the boogeyman. 3, it ties into October 4th. 4, he and Freddy are PDF. It's crazy. Yeah, I remember the Pusha T beef stopped because Drake's pseudo Tad, Jay Prince, stepped in. That didn't happen here. Kendrick is from Compton, not Virginia. Yeah, Jay Prince mob ties don't stretch that far west. Facts. Yeah. Facts. Jay Prince don't run nothing in LA. On the West Coast, in the Bay Area, you know, he doesn't run anything out here. He has no say whatsoever, unless he like tries to link up with someone who does have say. Yeah, and that's kind of how the Drake and Kanye thing got temporarily resolved too, right? Jay Prince stepped in, made them take a picture together. Legacy on Ice. Now, easy on what's the dirt, easy. Let's not forget Drake claimed he had a red button type rebuttal to Story of Adidon and somehow convinced his cult to blame Jay Prince for not releasing it. Right. Right. That's called saving face. Yeah, GTA 3 had a bistro killing. Yeah. And in GTA San Andreas, you go back to do the same thing. Yeah. St. Mark's Bistro is the name of the mission.
Willie Moretti was killed having lunch at Joe's Elbow Room in Jersey. And this dinner or meeting is like a metaphorical hit going down that Drake carried out. He's the
when GTA 6 come out, yeah, I'm pre-ordering it. You know what I mean? I'm paying $120, whatever it costs. I'm taking off work probably for a couple days too. And I'm probably not gonna live stream that week. I'm beating that whole game in like 3 days. Oh God.
hitman who laid out the ice cubes, right? We then see a shot of a fancy looking apartment, and I track this down, and it is the Loft Elegante in Zona Palastro.
Okay,
As you can
shorty.
see, this is the exact same place. It's just lit and color graded differently. A good-looking woman enters the scene.
sir.
She walks around a bit, and one thing I noticed is she is wearing the merch from Lil Yachty's clothing line, Concrete Boys. I know there's some rumors going
Yo, Drake got to stay away from Lil Yachty, man. Your music is taking a nosedive collaborating with this dude. Yo, y'all could be friends. It's like Kendrick and Baby Keem. Y'all can be friends, but when y'all collaborate together, it's worse than your normal music. I don't know if they see that. I don't know if they just think, yo, they keeping me young, they keeping me lit. No. GTA 6 is going to wreck customer services and servers everywhere. I hope they have physical merch. Yeah, I need physical merch. Oh, man. I'm taking work off. I'm pre-ordering it. I'm playing it early, midnight, staying up, all that. What you mean?
around that Drake is not on good terms with Yachty, but I don't think that's true. Drake enters the room with the bag, and the girl is very happy to see him. It's clear that they know each other, as it's all smiles and they hug. This is the first time we've seen the Iceman character give off any authentic signs of trust. Drake then proceeds through a secret hidden door, and as you could see, the inside is all red.
That's like Alice in Wonderland, that little door right there.
In episode 2, we saw a bunch of doors, right? So there's definitely a theme around doors. From here, Drake previews a new song titled Stuck, and I'm not sure if this coincides with the theme at all.
So I got to go back and listen to these songs. I don't see anybody talking about them, though. And I follow a good amount of OVO members on my timeline. And because I follow them, they always repost stuff that's going on in the OVO community. I don't really see anyone talking about these songs. I know it's been like 2 weeks since this episode has came out. These songs aren't talked about at all. So I would assume that the fans did not like them. Otherwise, they would support it. I really like the Clips album, but honestly, I haven't been listening to hip hop because all the Stanism. Yeah, the Stan Wars are crazy. You got Star Wars, you got J Electronica, Style Wars. And now in 2025, you got Stan Wars. It's hella annoying.
Couldn't really make any connections. The woman sits down and watches a video of Drake. Now, wherever this was filmed, it is the exact same location as the Fighting Irish freestyle that leaked in January.
Let me make sure I got that J Electronica reference right. It was called Style Wars, right? J Electronica. Yeah, Style Wars. Yes, sir.
Eventually, it was posted to the Plot Twist YouTube channel, and as you can see, this is the exact same fireplace. We'll talk about this soon, but this freestyle is really important.
To even remember
Eventually,
that is
Drake
crazy.
reappears from the hidden red room, and now he is wearing a different outfit. This is the first time over the course of the series where he is not in the Iceman character,
GOT
and I believe this is for a
Decepticon
very
Wars.
good reason. Something that a lot of people seem to miss is that while Drake takes a sip of the wine, the woman gives him another red card, and Drake leaves the room with the bag. I believe this woman represents a key aspect of information.
Because you
something
can't
that
see. Like, who's going to see that, man? They got to do some better camera work right there.
blow this entire thing wide open. This is where the Mother Abu statue makes an even bigger statement because she was a powerful hidden woman that was really pulling the strings.
Okay.
Next, the woman picks up a Pinocchio toy, which I was able to track down, and it's this one right here. It's a Pinocchio snow globe that when you wind it up,
Yo, it's a derby. You find, yo, he gonna find it. You put an item in your video, he gonna find that. Yo, he tracked down a toy. That's wild.
it plays a song. That's exactly what the girl does, but unfortunately, it's here where the production team seemed to make a mistake. You can see that
Convincing, what do you say? What convincing the world that Lil Yachty was a rapper is the greatest trick the devil played on us. Y'all follow somebody on X. They usually always respond. We chop it up. They recently posted this Lil Yachty song. It sounded like the way they posted, like the caption they posted on the song, because they posted a video of the song, a little clip. It sounded like some paid ad type beat. And I'm a content creator, so I know what a paid ad, I know how that verbiage look. And I went straight to the comments. I was like, bro, this sounds like a straight up paid ad. There's no way you gassing this. And he didn't respond. So that tells me, yeah, this is a paid ad. Like I said, Lil Yachty, he got a smart team, but he's an online rapper. I don't know. This ain't Lil Yachty slander hour, so I'm not going to even go that far. But yo, bots paying dudes to act like your song is fire. This is where we at, man. This is where we at. I was saying, someone said how crazy it is that how a huge percentage of the comments that you see on X and on YouTube are bots now. Something crazy like 40, 50% of the comments that you see are bots, AI. But I'll be like, yo, the stand wars nowadays is so crazy. You can't even have conversations with these people. I would rather talk to the bots. Facts. Facts. The stand wars make people IQ drop so low. I would rather talk to the bots. Facts. At this juncture.
Listening to the song, but we can't hear it, and I believe they forgot to cue the audio for the scene. This is what I think we were supposed to hear. I really believe they messed that part up. The girl winds up the Pinocchio toy so that it will start playing, and to me, this feels symbolic of a woman behind the scenes pulling the strings of these Pinocchio executives. Essentially, she's...
Do you think this is an attempt to artistically express his current litigation status? Yeah. Yeah, because my thing is, if Drake wants to tell us his whole story about UMG and the executives and the managers there that have done him so wrong, who he used to be cool with, right? They've done him so wrong because of Kendrick. If he really wanted to tell us this, he would just tell us. He's never done anything like this, Easter eggs and all this. But I'm like, why wouldn't he tell us? And yeah, obviously he's in an open lawsuit right now. So I think that's a part of it for sure. The reviewers are bad too. Yeah. One thing about me, I'm known for my album reviews. There was a time where that's all that I did. Before YouTube, I had a blog just with album reviews. So naturally, my album reviews and my breakdowns are going to be vastly superior to everyone else's. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's just a fact. Like I've been doing this so long. So yeah, my reviews are going to be just way better than everyone else's. They dig right for their audience. That's why I only watch Troy now, because he tells the truth, if we like it or not. Yeah, I just give my authentic opinion, and people can trust that I'm giving my authentic opinion. I give my authentic opinion about artists that I don't like. If they release a song I like, I put it out there. And artists that I like, if they release something I don't like, I put it out there. And I'm gonna articulately break down why I don't like it. People can agree, disagree. That's what it's all about. Agree, disagree. Lil Yachty only eats pizza. How do you know that? His brain is mush. How do you know that? I only talk to bots when I cope about mental health issues after listening to academics. Oh, man, shout out to academics, man. Facts.
Playing them.
Facts.
She's the one who opens the door for Drake, and that door likely represents secrets and information that only she can give him access to. Then we had the mirror on the wall, and normally a mirror just shows the surface reflection of things.
Yeah, it's not showing
but
anything.
Drake goes behind the mirror, and that means he's stepping past appearances and into what's being concealed. He emerges with a completely different outfit, and this is a new identity, one that represents Drake playing along with the game. And I think this is a big part of the plot twist, where the Iceman just carried out the hit. He knows what they're about to do, but he's got.
We got to skip ahead, bro. I can't with this. We gonna skip ahead. Let's see if he mentions the music at all here.
So when Drake takes up that exact same space in the gallery, it really tells me one thing: he's either looking for equity in the company or full-on ownership of his music. Outside of that, possibly Drake owns other artists' music.
Well, how many albums does Drake have left with UMG is the question. And didn't he just sell his catalog to them, a large portion of it?
And catalogs that we don't know anything about. And I really believe that there's like a theme, like an ongoing theme of Drake and ownership. You'll see that there's a moment where one man wearing all black appears in the gallery and he makes a gesture towards Drake.
That's crazy. Y'all remind me another video game reference. Only my OG video game heads are going to know this reference. But the way this dude just popped up right here out of nowhere, kind of like off screen, it kind of reminds me of Half-Life. You know that dude that you chasing around the whole game in Half-Life, but you can never quite reach him? He always 2 steps ahead of you. That's what that reminded me of.
You'll see that there's a moment where one man wearing all black appears in the gallery and he makes
Half-Life.
a gesture towards Drake. You can see that Drake looks directly at him, so it's clear there's some sort of communication or relationship between these two people. Nobody else is in the room except for these two. Another thing you'll notice here is that of all the men in the gallery, he is specifically the only person wearing all black. This is intentional as he is meant to stand out from the others, and it could symbolize a whistleblower from up top and someone that Drake
I gotta skip ahead some more.
is really the center of everything. At the end of the day, is this not what this is all about? Corporate greed over Drake's legacy? That's what this whole thing is. That's what all these people are here for. You can see that the man is asking for Drake to hand over the bag, and clearly they aren't willing to give Drake what he wants, which I honestly feel is very closely tied to ownership.
Drake just did negotiations with these people, though. Didn't Drake sells catalog 200, or was it 400? Let's just go Drake sells catalog. Dang, Drake has a comprehensive 360 deal with UMG. Oh, man. Which he signed in 2021 for $400 million. So I don't understand at this point Drake doing this whole, if what's the dirt is saying is true. Drake like, no, I want my ownership. It's all about ownership. And da-da-da-da-da. You literally just sold these same people that you're complaining about. You literally just sold them your catalog for $400 million 4 short years ago. Well, that's back when y'all was cool and you was like talking to Lucian Grange in your record, shouting him out like this is someone to be shouting out. Drake dropped 38 songs this year. Not better than Went Legit, and that never really charted over a week or two. Well, he had the Nokia. That was a hit. Nokia was a hit record. The Give Me a Hug joint, that made a lot of noise. What did I miss? That was number 2. That should have been number 1, right? But
hence why Drake started on the same level as the investors in the beginning. There's also the fact that while all this is going on, the sample in the music that we are hearing is Italian for go fuck yourself. Think of it this way, if a big chunk of Drake's master recordings leaves the UMG balance sheet, that means lower dividends,
for
weaker
sure
forecast, and
well, Drake would have to buy that back, right? So they gave him $400 million for it, which means they anticipate to make way more than $400 million off of it. I just don't understand doubling back 4 years later to be like, oh, I know I sold that to y'all, but like what's the point he's trying to make?
a weaker evaluation.
What did I miss? Was a good song, not a hit. Well, it charted number 2 on Billboard, but yeah, it didn't really stick.
Of the company itself. All the men looking down expect consistent revenue from the streaming and licensing of Drake's catalog. This is the reality. The Ballor family from France owns...
That is a nice chain. Let's go back and look at that chain one time.
And licensing of Drake's catalog. This is the reality.
Nice chain, yeah.
The Ballor family from France owns 28% of UMG. Tencent out of China owns another 20%. Then Perishing Holdings owns another 10%.
Should China, I don't know, should foreign countries be able to hold that much of our companies? Tencent, a Chinese company, owns 20% of UMG, which is UMG an American company? I heard somebody say that people in Congress shouldn't be able to have dual citizenship. And I really had to think about that. Like, is that fair? But I understand why they would say that. Like, if you're in Congress, you shouldn't have citizenship to another country. I actually don't know where I stand on that yet, because I can see both sides of the argument. But I understand why they say that. Anyway.
Owns another 20%. Then Perishing Holdings owns another 10%. And look, I think Drake has demands that he's not willing to compromise. Look, at a certain point, it was very clear that Drake realized just how much he was worth and just how valuable he was because we heard all about it in his music.
Classics, I keep scribbling. Lights in a universal building just keep flickering.
You know, he really starts to talk his shit. Like, you know, am I staying or am I going? Like, the lights are starting to flicker. I'm keeping the lights on.
Lights
here.
on, yeah.
CEO of Universal, they mistaken. Cause Google saying Lucian, but that just doesn't make sense.
Lucian don't make sense. He's not making the money. It's me.
Who filling up the piggy bank? Who bringing home the baby?
Yeah, right. Come on, Drake. Lucian Grange got more money than you could ever. You might be his cash cow, but after Drake, UMG is still going to be a company, corporation. They're still going to make money. I have a bad feeling Iceman won't be good. I really want it to be good. I don't want him talking about the beef. Yeah, he seems wrapped up in this. He seems wrapped up in this, and I want the album to be good too. My biggest fear is he drops the album and it's something like Cardi B just dropped. Too long, 20 plus songs, an hour plus. Oh my gosh, I already don't want to listen to this. But now you're going to make me sit for 20 songs. No cohesiveness, just a bunch of random shit on the album. Randomly placed like the Cardi B album. Sure, she has a couple good songs on there, but as an album, it's not a good experience. That's like my biggest fear that he drops. And he's talking about, we don't want to hear about Lucian Grange, all your personal woes, settle it in the courtroom. You trying to tell us that UMG is evil? Bro, wake up. We been knew these record labels was evil. Did you not listen to 444 by Jay-Z? I don't know why I said Jay-Z like that. Jay-Z? Did you not listen to A Tribe Called Quest? What's the damn lyric from Tribe Called Quest? Rule number 4080. Record company labels are shady. You was the one cozying up with these executives like you didn't hear that Tribe Called Quest record. You think we care if Lucian Grange, bro, we been knew that. Did you not listen to Prince? Do you not see what happened with Prince? I feel he's super wrapped up in this and we just don't care. We don't care. You, Drake, you were the one who thought y'all was buddy-buddy or thought these people were something that you thought they was, you had it mixed up. I don't know how to say it right, but you had it mixed up and you know what I mean. Cardi album was cheeks. I'm not even going to listen to that whole album, to be honest. I'm not going to waste my time. Biggest difference between Drake and Kendrick is proactive and calculated. Drake is reactionary and figuring it out on the fly. I think they're both proactive and calculated, for sure. I think that they both have that quality. If Drake took shots at Pusha after the beef, he's probably going to take shots at Kendrick on Iceman. He needs to let it go. He needs to let it go. I think going at UMG lyrically is worse than going at Kendrick. At least if Drake was going at Kendrick, at least it's interesting. This ain't interesting. I'm making this more interesting with my commentary on it than the actual Drake live stream. Is like my commentary about it is more interesting than the actual live stream. That's a fact.
Facts.
He needs to drop this shit. Leave it alone. Drop the album, my guy. I don't like the Canadian, but if you would have bet me $100 that Bunub and them Atlanta girls would have more. Oh, Bunna B. Who is that? I need to look them up. Would have more success than him over the summer. I would 100x that bet and cry when I lost. Yeah, you would have went in with leverage and lost bigly. Sammy Iceman will be good, just won't be great. His music hasn't been good in years. Don't expect it to just be good. Yeah, I don't. I want it to be a great album, honestly. I'm not listening to No Limit Records with 30 tracks. Yeah, like Master P. Yeah, I'm not listening. If it's 30, bro, no.
Who's bringing in the bacon? Like the guys in the gallery, they all know who it is. However, because of corporate greed, it's almost certain they'll never give Drake what he truly wants. That's why when the ponytail man reaches for the bag, Drake pulls it back and holds it tighter. It's at this moment that another Pinocchio emerges And I will reveal who I think this is soon, but notice the moment this Pinocchio arrives, Drake decides to leave. Remember,
big
Drake
dog.
is expecting the bullshit. Next, we see the Iceman truck again, and Drake enters a private club in Milan called Apophis. As you can see, here are some photos that they posted.
Yeah, going after non-rappers is his thing, though. Yeah, which is like you're attacking somebody who's not going to respond in the same way that you're attacking them. And then the people who are listening to your music, these are non-rappers, so we don't even know these people. You're doing this for your own humor, which is fine, but like it's not interesting, man. What if Academics is a Pinocchio? Why would Ack be a Pinocchio?
To their Instagram page. This is where Drake performs a new song with Yeet called Doghouse with Julia Wolf. Now remember, Yeet's character started at the beginning of
I heard I think Julia Wolf was probably the best part of that song.
Episode with a phone call with Drake saying that if things go left, I got that thing set up for you. I believe it's here where Drake is showing the touring that he did in order to recoup his $400 million deal with UMG very fast. A major clue that led me to this is you'll notice that Zach Bia is the DJ in this scene with Drake, and this is the exact same DJ that opened up for Drake for that entire tour.
Wait, so he had to recoup on his $400 million, what was it, in advance or something? So I gotta read how that deal went. So you sold him your catalog, and what they gave you $400 million, and like a part of that you had to recoup by going on tour. That don't even sound right.
I think he recouped extremely fast because he made like $250 off touring. He was doing deals with Nike and like tons of brand deals. I think he recouped way, way faster than what people think. Now the Pinocchios from Republic Records are going fucking crazy. Drake
Zach Bia's music manager.
Touring.
Yeah, Kendrick mentions Zach Bia on 616 in LA. You're playing nerdy with Zach Bia in Twitter bots.
Recouping on his deal insanely fast, and he won't be re-signing unless they meet his demands. We got Monty Littman running around in circles outside the castle, looking absolutely lost because between Drake and Taylor Swift, he's losing one of his biggest artists. Then we got Avery Littman playing into Ice, losing his damn mind because that last block of Ice is Drake's last album with Republic.
Not gonna lie, Jermaine Dupri's beat selection outside of 3 or 4 songs on his album just didn't hit. You didn't like that Grills song? Jermaine Dupri got some piff, for real. He got some good stuff. Yeah, he has to make them more money than they gave him by touring. So then what was the point of selling your catalog? I thought the $400 million was because he sold them his catalog. That's wild. That is wild.
In terms of, the Republic umbrella, I don't think Drake is in the best position in the eyes of the executives because...
Well, you probably never owned his catalog, so how could he sell something he doesn't even own?
It seems like he's asking for a lot, and if he doesn't get it, he's going to go. You'll notice that the Pinocchio in the theater stays quiet and stays in one place as the Republic Pinocchios go crazy. I believe this character is the newly promoted John Janik under Interscope. John understands that Drake is not in a cozy position with Republic, and he's also another person
peace,
who
Black
wants
Rabbit,
Lucian's
peace.
seat when he leaves. This is a perfect opportunity for John Janik to shine. John already has a long history with Kendrick under Interscope.
That's an interesting chain too. It ain't shining though. Was that a Byzantine chain?
And it's time to put the plan in motion. We see him running in circles, all in the name of corporate greed. Of course, the investors are.
They never
going to
gave
love the
specifics
beat because it's destined to generate revenue on all sides. Lucian will look incredible.
Well, yeah, they never gave specifics on the contract. They kept it up in the air for speculation. That sounds crazy, bro. Then if he had to recoup on that $400 million, that $400 million sounds like an advance. That's what it sounds like.
The board of directors at UMG will be very impressed with John's performance. Kendrick's stock will be higher than ever, and the brothers at Republic get a devalued Drake with far less leverage. Everybody wins. After the Pinocchio John finishes circling, he goes into the exact same...
Drake is so bent on this idea that, UMG set me up. They set me up in this beef with Kendrick so they could lowball me on a number. Bro, Drake, all you had to do was not respond to like that until your deal was done. You responded, bruh. You responded. You could have just not responded or sneak diss like y'all had been doing each other for the past 15 years. Well, 12 years, we'll call it. 13, let's say. Bro, you responded, bro. So don't act like this was all a setup from the very beginning. That's a bald-faced lie.
Position on the second level as where Drake
Bold-faced
started
lie.
off. That's because of how much he stood to gain from the beef financially, as one of the things that is the highlight of Drake's lawsuit is looking into John Janek's contracts. They want to see John's contract. They want to see the bonus incentives. They want to see what really what the
he
fuck is in there.
gambled
It's with
and
this
lost.
visual where I really
Facts.
think Drake is making a statement at the reality of what really happened. He's telling the story through film without saying a word.
No, yeah, Drake's chains is hitting way harder than Kendrick's. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this Kendrick chain right here that's kind of like some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. What y'all think? Unbiased though. Unbiased jewelry opinion.
Fuck is in there. It's with this story through
Hey,
film
look at these chains, bro. It's just different, bro. Like,
without saying a word. This battle wasn't organic, and it wasn't about the culture of hip hop like those Spotify advertisements suggested.
it wasn't organic. Oh my goodness. Stop the cap. I wish I had a stop the cap sound bite. That's like the closest thing I got. Oh, this wasn't an organic battle. It was rigged from the start. Man. Stop the baloney, man. Stop. Yeah, now we comparing jewelry. I'm just saying that Kendrick chain was some bullshit. But yeah, it's not about changing jewelry though. But I mean, damn, that was an ugly chain. But okay, now it wasn't an organic battle. Oh my goodness. They wanted Kendrick to win from the start. Okay, so they made you drop push-ups. They made you respond to like that. Then they made you go back to back with the tailor-made freestyle. All right, you got it. You got it, big bruh. You got it, big bruh. Shut up, man. I got a good. Here we go.
Shut the fuck up!
Yo, you killing me with this, man. Killing me.
This was about corporate greed, corrupt executives, and it was one giant play, hence why it's all taking place in a puppet theater.
I don't care about no chains and whips. This is hip hop. Yeah, hip hop is big on chains, though. You got to admit, like, even going back to the 80s, Slick Rick and all that. Like, you know, we love jewelry, bruh. But yeah, the jewelry, it doesn't mean anything in the end. But even like the conscious rappers, like Rakim has some big jewelry, man.
Keep in mind, all this is my perspective. Drake eventually leaves the club, and we see a shot of Kevin Durant, who looks pretty intensely into
Kevin
the
Durant.
camera, and I have no explanation for why he's doing this.
Bro, Katie, this text, what the fuck are we waiting on? Damn.
Drake finally pulls up to
Okay.
the church, and he goes through that little door that we already discussed. One by one, Pinocchios follow, but there's only 3. As I mentioned earlier, I believe the other Pinocchio is the man who Drake interacted with in the gallery, who was wearing all black.
4 more
One of the
minutes,
things
y'all.
I
We
noticed
almost
is that
done.
Drake's team deliberately
Yeah, that's why I
used
don't
2
respect.
cameras
Let me hold on,
to
read that.
showcase
I don't respect the lawsuit at all. Drake takes no responsibility for his involvement in the battle. I think he's just trying to win a lawsuit. He's trying to win a lawsuit. But this is why we need Drake to go on an interview with a hip hop platform. A hip hop platform is going to remember the chronology of things. Like this happened, then this happened, then this happened. So he's not going to just be able to, you know, give the excuse like, yo, this wasn't organic. It was rigged from the start. Because then someone will just ask him, then why did you respond to like that? Y'all had been sneak dissing each other for years. Why did you respond if you thought that it was going to be rigged from the start? This is going to expose the core of his argument. I ain't mad at Drake for suing the corporation. Get your money, man. Yo, they've been contractually bending you over. Like Drake has, I can only assume he's been in horrible record deals his entire career. Like he's had to work hard. Albums every year, touring constantly. Because he's in like some of the worst contracts of all time. I would assume. Google just said he's in a comprehensive 360 deal. I would assume that's a horrible contract, right? So if you want to sue the corporations and get some of your liquor back for all the time you spent, bro, I ain't mad at you. But doing this under the guise of the Kendrick beef, yeah, it just make you look like a victim.
the one Pinocchio running around in the theater. Why is that? Well, it's because they are
Sammy said she need Drake to win the lawsuit.
showing that there are
Why
two
is that?
Pinocchios in the theater. There is even a point where all on the same screen, they show one Pinocchio in the ice bunker, another one in the castle, but yet for whatever reason, there's two different angles of the same Pinocchio in the theater. They show the two shots because there's two Pinocchios in the room. One of Drake's moles is someone higher up. This was something they also did throughout the episode when they showed footage for the restaurant that really helped spell it out for me. Why are they showing two shots? Why show anything other than the table?
I mean, just camera. It could just be creative, a creative decision. But yeah, it's good to look deeper into it at times. Take the defamation out and it's cool, but defamation is a lame claim. But then how else would he sue them? Right? Defamation is like the one thing he can hold on to. I can already see what this is, man. I can see what it is. Shout out to Jack V. Shout out to the guy
that matters. Well, no, because they are showing you that Lucien is in the building, fully aware of the plan, and unlike the corporate puppets, he's eating pretty good, aka the plan yields massive profit. I literally had a dream the other night that the four Pinocchios made me a sandwich.
Whoa.
You'll
Get some
notice
sleep,
each
buddy.
Pinocchio is
More
led
sleep.
through the same small door as Drake, and I want to remind you of this scene.
Sammy said, she said she just wants Drake to get a win. Yeah. I think Drake can get a win by dropping a really good album that even the most hardcore of hip hop fans will have to admit, yeah, this is a decent album. Yeah, I mean, I think that's enough win. But Drake, he ain't locked in. I'm looking at how he's moving with these Iceman joints. He's still distracted. He ain't locked in. You know, I need Drake to give us another Feel No Ways. I need Drake to give us another Come Through. We need another Show Me a Good Time. We need them type of joints, but he ain't locked in, bro. Like,
from episode 2 with the
snaps.
Pinocchio drawn onto the door. Remember we discussed that doors in the Disney Pinocchio movie are meant to look inviting, but they are all metaphorical traps. And Drake led them through that door, the little door, which tells me, you know, Drake walking through the same door as them symbolizes that he is playing along.
All this symbolism, this and that. Drop some music, brother. It don't even got to be a hit. Give us something that's at least going to be in rotation. Something with some replay value. Niggas in the studio with Yeet and Lil Yachty. He's not serious, man.
With what they're doing. Drake then enters a sacristy, and this is a place
Feel
in
No-
a church
Feel No
where
Ways is a
priest will
classic.
prepare for sermons. I believe this is meant to symbolize that Drake has led the Pinocchios into believing that nothing could possibly go wrong with their plan.
It's a setup.
It is 100% safe. A song then starts to play that is clearly unique, as it is tailored specifically to the Iceman theme. Drake holds out
Maybe
the
that's the first single.
bag pretty much like he's surrendering, and he
Kinda
is
true.
surrounded by the three Pinocchios. I believe what we are seeing here is the battle and plan being initiated, and Drake already knows what's coming. A big part of the
Oh,
plot
so this was all a plan. Like, it was a plan for him to lose the beef with Kendrick and, you know. Yo, this was all one big setup. He lost on purpose, y'all, for this moment right here. Oh, you're killing me.
is playing along in the battle, because that is literally the trap. We hear the Iceman song playing in the background, and that's because the guy that's in front of them is a body double. The Iceman with the bag and the evidence changed at the girl's apartment, and we saw the video at the same fireplace where he recorded the Fighting Irish freestyle. And on that record, he said this.
Cover my body in dirt, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was a body double, and we done dozens of switches.
It's fucking wild. Like, you know, cover my body in dirt, but that was
So this tells me he's the music on this Iceman album is going to relate to this shit, because he's linking his lyrics with what's happening in the video. So the album is going to be about UMG, Lucian Grange, executives. Kendrick was just a pawn. They use him as a pawn. None of this was organic. Oh man, it'll make for a good video, because I'm gonna tear that theory apart. Yeah, Kendrick fell for the trap. Oh yeah, Kendrick, you were supposed to get a huge #1, you know, hit, West Coast classic record. I had that all planned, and then I lost on purpose. You know what I mean? Like,
me. Like, he's saying, like, they tried to destroy me. They thought they did it, but that wasn't me. That was a body double, because the guy that they thought they buried, he already knew what they were gonna do. He had to play the game, though. He had to go through with all these people calling him a pedophile.
This is called not being able to take an L. He didn't learn from Meek Mill. Meek Mill took his L. Then what was his next album called? Wins and Losses. And people not forgot about Back to Back, but it was just like something that just happened and people still mess with Meek Mill. He didn't learn that lesson. He's trying to pretend like, yeah, this is all my master plan. Come on, dog.
Bullshit. He had to do that to catch him in the trap. What's even crazier about this is remember that girl from earlier who sat back and she's watching those clips of him at this same fireplace. Well, this very freestyle starts out with a woman.
Yeah, so this tells me, this makes sense. This is like probably the most logical thing. Like, yeah, this has actually happened. I think they did this purposefully. I think Drake was like conscious about and intentional about doing this. I don't think this is a reach at all. But this is not a good sign for me because I don't want to hear this shit on Drake's album. But this tells me that the album is going to have to do with all this executive talk. Who did me wrong? Woe is me. Oh my gosh, bro.
I'm completely like we can't understate how fucking crazy this is. This is fucking nuts. This is nuts. Like that freestyle came out in January and he deliberately leaked it, but never on his own channels. Like this is never been an official Drake post. It came out of nowhere and then it now it's up on the Plot Twist, but it's never been officially affiliated with Drake. I wonder why that is.
I promise I've been thinking before y'all. I barely get tired, I'm rarely inspired. You accomplishing.
Yeah, wrap it up, buddy. One more episode, buddy. Wrap this shit up and drop the album. Drop some singles. Yo, if the next episode don't got a song that's dope, you know, that speak to the people, like What Did I Miss spoke to people for like the 3 weeks it was on the charts, then I don't know how this album's going to be. It already seems like he's going to be talking about who did me wrong, Lucian Grange. We used to be buddies, but, you know, you were supposed to help me out like you did with Meek Mill, but you didn't. So now I'm suing your company. The average person, the average Drake fan, and I know the average Drake fan, I've been debating these guys for 15 years. They don't care about this. They don't even know who Lucian Grange is. You can try to describe it to them in these Pinocchio videos. You can try to describe it to them on the album. They don't know him. They don't care to know them. They want to hear some bops. Make me dance, wave my hands. That's what people want. The woe is me stuff, it's not something I want to hear. Keep it in the lawsuit. That's why you're suing them. Make your case in court. Where are the dope records? You in the studio with Yeet and Lil Yachty. You're not serious. Your music is not landing because you're in the studio with Lil Yachty in them. Your music is not landing with your own audience. He's got a massive core audience. It's not landing with them. I'm not just talking about the charts. I'm talking about what people are talking about organically in these communities on social media. They are not rallying behind these records except for like the day it drops because they're being good fans. They're trying to, you know how when Nicki or Cardi drops, they repost the song, play the song on your phone for, you know, while you sleep, play it on loop. They're doing that like the first couple of days. It's not landing, bruh. Time to get serious, man. This is an important album. You got a couple more hits in you. We want to hear Feel No Ways. We want to hear bounce that shit like, well, we want to hear that up all night. So is you going to get back to it or are you going to keep crying about this? You have your arena to cry about it in court. But me personally, I don't want to hear it on the album. I would rather you drag out the Kendrick beef more. Beat that dead horse. Maybe we get some more short jokes. That's more interesting than this. Episode 4, wrap this shit up, my guy. What y'all think about that? Drake looking like Will Smith? What you mean? Like physically he's looking like Will Smith? What you mean? The singles be doo-doo too. Do we even have a single off this album yet? I don't know. What is he? I think he's just gonna surprise drop it. I think he's gonna surprise drop it because he ain't really doing no singles like that, man. Unless all these songs is gonna be on the album. All the songs that he played on Iceman on these live streams, unless those are gonna be on the album. But even his fans will tell you, no, don't do that. Because they know implicitly these songs are not even up to par. Yeah, don't put those on the album. I agree. I think he's only in it for the money. The lawsuit is just a play to get money. I agree. So keep it out the music. That's my thing. If this is all about money, cool. Like I said, Drake been in some of the worst record deals. I mean, according to his peers. Pusha T, you signed to this dude, this dude, that dude. Multiple people have said that. So Drake's been look how much he's dropped over the past 10 years. He's constantly working. You think because he wants to or because he's contractually obligated to? So if he feel like he want to go get a lick back in court, bro, go do that. But keep this out the music, man. I think the only song that's going to be on the album is the one he dropped on his Plot Twist account where he dissed DeRozan. We don't want to hear no more dissing either. If you going to diss somebody, at least win. Diss J. Cole, man. Because J. Cole is the reason why he was the first one to throw a shot at Kendrick. Y'all supposed to be in this together. Child's Play, no, we good on that. I like Child's Play. I like the hook, that's why. The hook and the beat drop, fire. Thoughts on Dave Blunt's? I like Dave Blunt's. Crying in the Kitchen. I like the Antonio Brown diss. He did too. Antonio Brown is a sexual deviant. Whatever he said. To go from ass to mid, it takes time. Give Iceman time. Greatness takes time. I hope you're right. I don't have it in me to listen to another mid album. You know, it's better for me to listen to an album that's straight up bad than to listen to an album that's just mid. Because when it's bad, I can cook it. I can cook the album. But when it's just mid, like not good, not particularly bad, not particularly good, those are the worst albums. I just hope this is not mid, but from the music he's put out, it's been like 80% mid. Get Lil Yachty a flight back to Atlanta. Keep him out of the studio for this album. Just this one time. As soon as I seen 18 plus songs, I'm out. Facts. I'm with you.
Facts.
I'm with you. If I see anything longer than an hour and 10 minutes, nah. I'm going to just do like 1 or 2 song breakdowns. We ain't listening to that, motherfucker. We ain't listening to that. Yo, if it's more than an hour and 10 minutes, because really it'd be more about the time of the album than a number of songs. Because Mad Villainy is a bunch of songs, right? Like 16 songs. But it's like 40 minutes. If I see an hour, 10 minutes, I'm out, bro. We do 1, 2 song breakdowns. We, you know, the ones people talking about the most. And I'm never listening to that album. 16, 18, 20 songs. No. An hour plus. You not one of them ones, bruh. Big Crit, he could drop a double album, 20 songs. I'll listen to that. It's certain people. The cool kids are certain people. For me, Drake ain't one of them people. Bad albums are at least funny, but mid is forgettable, right?
Facts.
Like the Tierra Whack album, that was bad, but it was funny. We had a lot of fun with that Tierra Whack album review. It's still on the channel if y'all want to watch it. That was bad. Mid, like the Chance the Rapper joint, and people really gassing up that Chance the Rapper album. Oh, it's one of the best albums. No, it's not. Super off topic, but what's going on with Roddy Ricch? I tried telling y'all about Roddy Ricch years ago. I mean, I tried telling y'all, why listen to Roddy Ricch when you can just listen to Young Thug? Or at least that first Roddy Ricch album, the Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. You gonna listen to Perfect Timing? Just go listen to Young Thug. Like, go listen to the originator of that style. That's defamation. That defamation don't make sense. If it's about the money, just do the harassment and unfair business practices. I guess by throwing defamation in there, he is trying to like strengthen his case. Right? I don't know. Just don't put it in the music. I'm at the point where Do what you do, lawsuit. He's already taken the bullets for that, suing after a rap beef. He's already taken the heat. But leave it out the music. Because if you put it in the music, that continues this. That extends this whole Kendrick and Drake beef even further. You guys, Joey's made a mixtape. No, Joey's project was fire. You tripping? Don't Tap the Glass was mid. I wish it was trash. It might have went diamond. Don't Tap the Glass is good too. I like Don't Tap That Glass. He's got like 2 or 3 excellent songs that keep that project up here for me. Sucker Free, Sugar on My Tongue, and there was another one. Sucker Free, Sugar on My Tongue, and there was another one. Ring, 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 pick up the phone. That one. Fire. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Yo, we gonna see. We gonna see. We one more episode of this, man. Because I'm gonna stop reacting to it. Because, you know, I just want the music, man. It was music in that first one. It was music in this one too, I guess, but it ain't hidden. Oh, somebody asked me about wrestling. I don't watch wrestling anymore. I stopped watching wrestling like in 2009. Like when I stopped watching wrestling, I think that's like right when The Miz became champion. It was like The Miz MVP, but it was before Jeff Hardy came back. Because I don't remember Jeff Hardy coming back, but I know he came back. But it was like right when Miz was either the #1 contender or he had just became champion, and I kind of just stopped watching. So he said, I bet you're not going back to the Joey album. Yeah, I go back to the Joey album. I'll go back to his Ray Vaughn disses. I'll go back to Joey. I listen to a lot of Joey, personally. How often do you live stream? Every Friday. I live stream every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Cali time, every Friday. If I don't live stream, if I'm not going to live stream on a specific Friday, like next Friday, I probably won't live stream because I have to be somewhere. But I'll post on Twitter. I'll let people know. But anyways, yo, new videos on the channel. Go indulge yourself, man. Go watch this Kendrick Lamar one. Like the video. Did I like my own video? We got to...
Gina.
Baby. Yeah, I like my own video. I like my videos because it helps us in the algorithm. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I'm going to let y'all go. Thank y'all for joining. As always, top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.